When I was talking about styles, I sort of skipped over table styles, and that's partly because they are a little bit of a different ball of wax. There are ways to nudge InDesign to do a better job with table HTML than it would by default, and you'll be surprised to hear that it all boils down to using styles well. Table and cell styles work well and are generally massively underused feature. So let's go over to the InDesign file, go up to Window, go down to Styles, and make sure that our table styles are opened and on the right page. So there's a table style, and then there's a cell style. Those are slightly different things. So there's a table style that can be applied to the entire thing, and then cell styles to sort of individual cells or rows. The main thing about tables, so this is a very simple table: person, age, department, Bob, Sue, Ahmed, 26, 47, 41, delivery manager, coordinator. The header row is in bold type on a very light gray background. Be really cautious about color contrast when you're making tables. I find that this is where people really make the most mistakes when it comes to contrast. And if you're not sure, use a color checker, color contrast checker to look. If you Google WebAIM color contrast checker, you'll find a very good one that will help you with this. That was a bit of a sidebar. Let's go back to this. So when creating a table, be sure to designate the header row as a header row. This will code the table correctly, ensuring that assistive technology reads the table accurately. So in this case, this is the header row, and I'm going to go up to table and I'm going to say convert rows to header. Now what this means is this: when the table breaks and one row has to go to another page, oh, it's off the page, so let me just flow this onto this page. The header row repeats. So the header row is associated with the table in a more fundamental way than just a row, and it will repeat. And more importantly, when this is converted to HTML, this will be coded as what's called a T-head, or a table header row. And so in some versions of assistive technology, when it comes to this table in the HTML and reads it, it will say person, Bob, age 26, department, delivery, person, Sue, age 47, department, manager. So it reads the header item with the row item, and it will only be able to do that if it's coded accurately as a header. In addition, if you use cell styles, it will be easier to edit. If you have like 62 tables in your content, it will be easier to edit all 62 tables at once in CSS if you're using cell styles correctly. So let's create a new cell style. I think that this will be a familiar process to you by now. I'm just going to call it a gray background and then say OK, and then apply that. No problem. So that doesn't have a key line. The header row does not have a key line around the frames, and then these do. So I'm going to call these cell styles something slightly different. And then we have this table is now appropriately formatted. And it will come out. I mean, one of the things that it's important to understand about InDesign is that it actually doesn't do tables super well. But by using styles as effectively as you can from within InDesign, you're giving your content a bit of a head start in terms of having accurately coded tables. So they will still need some cleanup, but it will be a little bit easier than if you had not styled this content at all.